Hey guys, Mark here. Ever since I made my braided paracord belt tutorial, I've had a lot of requests to show how the belt is actually finished. I mentioned that you can use back braiding to finish the belt and that it is a bit of an advanced technique. That is true, but not in the sense that it would be too hard to accomplish, but in the sense that you can't actually follow many rules to do it. You have to look at the specific braid that you're using and then apply a technique that you think would look nice. Now, I have up to this point not found a definite source that I could use for back braiding, so I basically sat down and tried a few times until I got it down to the look that I wanted. So if you want to see how I do it, just see the tutorial that is coming, and remember, don't look at the sequences that are used for this specific braid, but the general principles that are applied that you can use in back braiding your belts. So with that said, guys, let's see how I back braid one of my belts. So here I have a 9-strand braid that I want to finish, and I have secured it with a couple of hairpins. Now we're going to start with our bottom 2 cords, but we need to decide on which one. Now if we started with the bottom brown one on the right here, it would not look proper. We need to start with our green one because the green one locks the brown one into place. You can actually try this and you will see that this is almost always the case. One of the cords locks the other one into place, and then we will simply need to follow our cord, the same cord that the end is coming out of. So simply follow on top of the cord that you're using. You could say that our working end is following on top of our standing end. Like this. And then exit a bit further in the belt. And with this, our first cord is already back braided. So one is already done. Now I'm going to transfer my lacing needle onto the next one, which is the brown one. So the brown one, I have decided to go in the same pattern. The green one went over to brown. So now the brown is going to go over to green and then follow itself until it exits a bit further in the braid. So like this, and with this we have 2 cords finished already. I'm just going to adjust it a bit. You can do this now or at the end. Now the third one is going to be another green one. And we start again by going over 2 like we did before, because that basically worked fine. And then simply continue on top of the standing end. Now we could finish here, but it is not as secure, so we're going to go a bit further up. And with this we have already finished 3 of the cords with no problems at all. Now the next one is going to be a brown cord here. So we need to finish this one, and we know that we usually go over 2 to start. So we're going to just use that since it works. And then exit at the top again. Now you could follow on the other side as well, but I usually want to keep the outside of the belt as neat as possible. So I usually follow my cords on the inside of the braid. So we already finished about half of our cords. Always try to lay them on top of each other so they look nice. We're now going to continue with a green one. This one. You can see that we have a slight problem here. Now I'm going to remove this hairpin for you to see. But again, this one is not locked off. You can see that it will escape into the braid if we don't lock it off. So I'm going to go between the 2 cords that I have doubled before on my first pass with the brown cord, and then continue following my green cord. This is the part where you need to be creative. Sometimes you just get into a situation where you need to basically see how you could progress. So you need to be a bit creative sometimes and just improvise. And again, I'm going to secure my cord a bit further into the braid. And we have finished another cord. Now again, we're going to start with a brown one. And the brown one now will go basically over the first one and then simply follow itself. We're going to continue with another green cord. And the next green one will again just follow itself on the top of it. You can see that we're now passing under a few doubled cords as well, which is a bit tighter to work with. And this is what gives your braid a secure finish because it bulks up a bit. If you want to avoid the bulkiness of a back braid, you can gut your cord, the end of your cord that is, before you start back braiding. Now we're going to start with a brown cord, and we only have 2 to finish. So like this, you can finish it here or work it a bit further up. And then the last one is the green cord. And I've decided to work it in here. Now at this point we have back braided the entire set of cords, and we can now start to adjust them, which is done by basically trying to place your working ends on top of your standing ends in order to secure them and give them a nice look. As you can see, some sections here are doubled, which they shouldn't be. And this is after I've done some adjustment. You can see that it has a pointed shape at the start of the belt, but I still need to do a bit of adjustment on these cords here. So guys, I hope that this tutorial was at least a bit helpful. As you can see, you need to basically just attack your braid, or you could say that you need to improvise. So guys, thank you and see you next time.